All right, this is it. The last episode of 2025 of the Slack Doctors. I am Dr. Chip.
I am Dr. Bob.
And this is it, man. This is the end of the year. This is literally New Year's Eve. Beautiful afternoon in South Florida. It must have been cold, pretty cold up in Gainesville this morning.
Viciously cold, but a high front. So nice skies.
Oh,
nice
yes.
and bright and sunny and blue. But it's for Florida, I would almost say bitterly cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that. I mean, I didn't. You have your heat on?
Oh, yes.
See, I never even turned my heat on. As a matter of fact, I didn't even close my window till this morning.
Right. Well, I mean, it went down to almost 30 last night.
Yeah, and I don't think it got that cold here, but yeah.
I don't have good insulation in this place. You know what I mean? So
Right.
just, in fact, if I go stand by the door right now, my feet, I can feel it.
Right. Well, I can imagine. Yeah. And I rode the bike and I'm completely, jacketed and helmeted and gloves and everything. But with everything on, it is perfect riding weather today. Absolutely perfect.
I thought about that and I was thinking your options for cold weather is really not that great because, the bike clearly not, but even the Jeep is not exactly toasty warm.
No, with the top on, the Jeep's fine. It's you turn the heat on in the Jeep, it gets hot in there. That's not a problem. The heater works fine.
I know you like to make fun of modern cars, but yesterday when I got in the car and turned my seat warmer on, I was real happy.
I'll bet. As a matter of fact, the heater in the Jeep works so well that even if it's chilly out and you have the top off, you can just crank the heater and it's like, oh yeah, that feels nice. I mean, the heater in the Jeep works really well. But anyway, so it being the last show of the year, we're doing our best of, worst of, and I guess notable peoples and events and stuff like that. And I figured I'd let you go first because I'm
going to let you go first because I don't really have the last 2 days have been
okay. So you don't really have anything.
I don't really have anything. What I do have is just kind of like end of the year synopsis of the things that were
okay.
Really good
I was going to say because I just started making a list of stuff that happened this year that was notable, highs and lows, and yada yada. And I came up with so much stuff. And the first thing I want, first thing I want to say before the first thing I want to say is the year closed out with regular gas at $2.70 or $2.79, something like that, a gallon, somewhere around in that neighborhood, but I just paid $5.25 a gallon.
Why?
Because I had to get premium. I've never seen premium be double the price of regular. That's ridiculous.
But it's been a long time since I had to buy premium. But,
I know, but I mean, I'm riding my, the high compression motorcycle. You can't put regular gas in that thing. I mean, I guess I could have risked it with medium, but even medium was like $4.50. It's like what the hell? Why? Yeah, it's like what the hell's going on with that? All right. That's the first thing. But the one thing I wanted, the distinction I did want to make, which I thought was pretty kind of funny when you put it this way, is. This year, Diddy went to prison for having consensual sex with grown adults, and nobody went to prison for raping children. Isn't that amazing?
Not only did nobody go to prison, but the one person who was in jail got transferred to a much cushier jail.
That's true. Oh, my God, she's not even on my list. I didn't even think about putting her on my list. She definitely had an interesting year.
Under the radar.
Right? Well, but nothing really, she didn't go to jail this year or anything. She just got cushier jail. So, I mean, I guess this year was relatively inconsequential for her other than getting a better jail deal. But, yeah, all right. So the first thing, obviously, on the list that came to mind right away, all right, the glasses are rough with the headphones. Charlie Kirk, obviously. Great year for him. Worst year of his life, obviously, also. One of those characters that obviously the worst and best completely apply to. And did you know that I guess a lot of people were talking about the fact that they were grooming him to run for office. He was basically gonna be somebody's running mate or something like that in 28. So
yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. He had politician written all over him from the get-go.
But yeah,
that's a natural career path for what he was doing.
Right. So that was the obvious first person that, came to mind for great year, bad year. And then obviously, you go from there, you got Candace Owens, best podcast on the planet this year. Got anything to say?
Whoa, camera just went all squirrely. Now
Yeah,
I'm
no,
looking.
he's messing with
Okay.
something. He's making adjustments. But yeah, so you got Candace had a pretty amazing year. She went from being, a mid-level podcaster to being the most popular podcaster on the planet, apparently. And likewise, then you go to, well, opposite and equal and opposite direction. You got Ben Shapiro, who's apparently lately very unpopular. Apparently, ever since that last TPUSA event, he's been shedding subscribers and viewers and stuff like that, supposedly. Speaking of which, TPUSA, obviously a banner year for them. They've obviously surged into the headlines. And also,
you'd be hard pressed to probably find an American that doesn't know what that is now,
right?
Regardless of how little they knew before.
Yeah, that's absolutely that came to a forefront this year without a doubt. To go slightly off politics for a moment, Youngblood, what a year that guy had! I'd never heard of the guy before, and he's already winning Emmys. And I got to say, I was taken aback by actually how good he really was. I mean, the first time I saw the guy, I kind of didn't really like him. It was just like on a Bill Maher, and he's like, who's this cocky little fucker, But after watching some of his performance, I'm like, yeah, that guy's got the goods. He's pretty damn good.
You say he won an Emmy or a Grammy?
I'm sorry, probably a Grammy. You're
okay.
right. But I think I'm not even sure he won, but I'm pretty sure he got nominated. I don't think they. Well, I guess he got nominated for next year because I don't know if he's won or lost yet on that or not. I don't know. I don't know how the Grammys work, nor do I care. All right, so then I had Venezuela. Kind of an interesting year for that place.
That's a word for it.
Yeah.
You see, we just did a land strike now.
Yeah, a couple of
one of their ports.
Yeah. Well, they're and from what they're saying, they're trying to say that is where the that's like a plant where they make the drugs or something. Which I'm like, really? All right, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'd like to see footage of whatever that strike looked like, but who knows if we ever will. That was interesting. So now deviating from my list here, I had a line written over from Venezuela to this other place that I didn't come up with until much later that obviously had some interesting but similar stuff going on this year, which is Nigeria.
I was wondering if you're going to say Nigeria or Somaliland.
Same thing. Same thing. Another area that this year's all of a sudden got the focus back on it. Obviously we had the Somali thing back in, what was that? It was the 90s, right? When we were over there with actual troops and stuff.
No, but I'm not talking about Somalia. I'm talking about the little region in the northern portion of it that's trying to be independent, which calls itself Somaliland.
Oh, no shit.
Which, surprisingly, the very first foreign prime minister, president, et cetera, a foreign leader to recognize their sovereignty is none other than Bibi. Netanyahu.
Oh,
Netanyahu
no
of
kidding.
Israel came out and it said, oh, yeah, Somaliland,
Interesting.
Their sovereign nation.
Interesting. And of course, you've got the Minnesota Somaliland going on right now as well. So, yeah. And then the whole Nigeria thing is the fact I'm not sure why we're even there. We're trying to stick up for some.
Is it literally just is the supposed reason to protect Christians that are being slaughtered? Because
that's
I've heard
what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Which is really heading right back towards like a new crusade almost. If that's really what we're doing, even if that's the reason we're giving.
That's true. That's a good point. Good point. Yeah. So that all happened this year. Of course, and then I'm surprised I got this far down on the list before I remembered about Erica Kirk. Obviously, interesting year for her. Highs and lows, ups and downs, ins and outs. A lot of, as the dude says, a lot of ins and outs in this case. So she's having an interesting year. I mean,
Did she just get a WWE contract, or is that? Am I confusing her with?
I don't know. That would be. It would seem so, but who knows? And then after her, I have basically Zionism in general, which, before this year, I'd say a lot of people were down with Zionism. I would say this is the year that Zionism turned into a bad word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think by 2048, which will be literally 100 years of it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. And then from that, I have lines written down here to number one is AIPAC, which is almost the same story. AIPAC, Zionism.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Almost synonymous. So yeah, that's definitely fallen out of vogue. And basically, I think nowadays, if you're running for office and you're taking money from AIPAC, yeesh, good luck. Good luck. Anyway, the other line I have driven down from Zionism is Douglas Murray and Dave Smith. Don't forget about that.
I forgot about those.
Yes,
two. Yeah, good times.
Yes, that happened this year. That was a. Have you ever been to 2025? That's the question.
I'm surprised I haven't seen more memes of that. I mean, a little bit there when it was current, but
I was going to say no memes last more than like a couple of weeks anymore. Now it's something, move on to something else. It was have you ever been? Then it was 6'7", and now who knows what it is now. The kids will come up with something new.
And then 6'7" actually got to be like word of the year or included in the Oxford Dictionary or something ridiculous like that.
Stupid. But actually, also I have Douglas Murray, Dave Smith / Dave Smith, Josh Hammer interview. Debate, rather, I should say, which I don't know. Did you ever watch that?
No, I haven't.
Well, that was
I don't even know who the other person is.
Well, it's this guy that debated Dave Smith at a TPUSA event. That's the one I talked about on the episode where Charlie Kirk was the moderator, and about halfway through the debate, he could just see how badly this Josh Hammer guy was just getting pounded, and he basically stopped. He basically stopped it and just started talking to Dave Smith. And this is where I swear to God, if the thing about the Zionists killing Charlie Kirk were true, that's the moment I would say that they said, that's it, we got to get rid of this guy. After watching that debate, I think that's the moment that they said, that's it, he's got to go. And if in fact that was the case, I hate to say it, but that means Dave Smith basically killed Charlie Kirk. Which, I mean, not basically, but, in a roundabout way. But anyway, so yeah, that all happened this year. Let's see. Oh, our friend Rodney Mayo, friend of the show, opened his pet thing this year, didn't he?
You mean pet thing?
Yeah, his pet rescue thing. Doesn't he have like a whole? He opened a whole complex for rescuing dogs or something. You didn't know about that?
I didn't know about that. No.
Oh yeah. He opened some big pet thing. I thought you knew about that. I thought we talked about that. No. Oh.
Did he take over is a new thing, or did he take over the Gertrude Maxwell?
No, it's a new thing. As a matter of fact, I got to find out exactly where it is. It's somewhere in West Palm, somewhere slightly industrial. I got a feeling it may be over there by like Flamingo Park or something, right off of Dixie, in that Carefree area.
I'll send Jess a text. I'm sure she'll tell me all about it.
Yes, and absolutely. It's funny. The reason I even thought about it and brought it up is because my buddy Kevin that used to own the Rum Shack is apparently going to be working for Rodney. Because apparently within this complex there's going to be a bunch of vendors and a bunch of stuff like that, and apparently some kind of food thing that this guy Kevin's going to be running for Rodney. So yeah, apparently there's going to be some big pet rescue compound shops. I don't even know.
Sounds great. It sounds like a great place to work.
Pet market.
Take your break and you go pet dogs and cats and then go back to work. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe call it like a pet market, like a green market or a pet market or something like that. But anyway. So that's happening this year, or at least got started this year. That's interesting. Okay. 3 guys that had a very interesting year, and I'm surprised. Well, 2 out of 3 of them lasted throughout the year, but we got Kash, we got Pam, and we got Dan. All 3, first year on the job in 2025, not looking so good. Not looking so good. No. Dan's already gone. Kash is technically still here, but pretty much gone. He's fired.
On his way out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Pam's got much longer to go either, the way things are going for her. So, yeah, those guys had a both best of and worst of year, I would say. They definitely qualify as both.
Tim Dillon was welcoming Dan back to the world of podcasting. Like, come back to the desk. Come back to where you can actually make a difference.
Yeah. He's so good, man. And that's the thing, man. I mean, who's going to watch this? What can he say? I mean, what's he going to be? I'd love to tell you stuff, but I can't tell you. Like, who's going to watch his? Anyway, good luck, Dan. And anyway, so gun rights in Australia had a rough year. Apparently, they're even cracking down harder on only giving Islamic terrorists guns in Australia. That just baffles me, that whole incident. So you got that going on. All right. Huge year for AI. Nobody was talking about AI as much as this year. I mean, it got some talk last year, but AI was definitely the star.
Well, people have talked about it before, but now you're using it and investing all kinds of money into it and building data centers, and
not to mention
electric bills going to go up, and
not to mention the rise in AI phobia. All the people that are deathly scared of it, like Bill Mayer. Oh, it's going to kill us all. It's going to kill us all. It's going to, okay, Bill, whatever you say.
And it has made, and I would say also in the last year, it really truly has made visible improvement strides as far as what it's capable of doing. If you look at an AI generated video from a year ago versus now, you can still tell, but it's certainly noticeably better.
True. But you
People
can't
have the right number of fingers on their hands, and
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, but truthfully, here's the thing. Probably the best AI, we probably see it all the time and just don't know it. I'm sure the powers that be are using the currently best version of AI to do exactly what we think they would do with it.
Right. So, we refer back to my previous remarks on another pod about how we only get it after it's trickled down and they've got a better version of it, like GPS and microwaves and Teflon and everything else.
Absolutely. Sooner or later, people are going to figure out you and I are AI. Anyway. All right. Another big year for aliens. Aliens we've admitted we have them. We have some kind of, they didn't actually say aliens. We have celestial biological material. That's what they testified in Congress to having. So take that as what you will, which is funny. I was actually just having this thought earlier today, and it's like, it was something about evolution and the fact that the evolution it's going to be AI. AI is going to be the end up of evolution. And what we're seeing from these aliens is basically time travel back in time. And, all the grays from the craft, they're just avatars. They're just things that the AI computers have, invented. But anyway.
Yeah, constructs.
So, it's funny that AI and aliens I got them right next to each other. And then, of course, right after that, drones. 2025 is definitely the year of the drone. You can't go 2025 without going, remember all those drones off of Jersey? That was this year, right?
I think it was January. I think it was this year. Or the very end of 24.
Yeah.
And also this year really marked actually that's not true. I was going to say the use of drones in warfare, but that's really pretty much been the entirety of the Ukraine.
Well, yeah, but I got to admit, maybe last year too, though. That might not be specific to this year, but there's definitely more like footage of drones being used. There's definitely more of an awareness of the level of drones being used on the battlefield, at least. But that may not be specific to 2025, but they're definitely prevalent. And then the other one that may not be so specific to 2025, but very prevalent, Gavin Newsom. I mean, he's been front and center all year, shit. Oh, and I wonder what happened. Why did he give up using Trump's tactic against him? Remember when he was doing that for a while?
What, the shit posting?
Well, yeah, that and the crazy memes with him ripping a muscle chest over with the American flag on it and crazy shit like that. Yeah, he was doing that for a while. We'll have to remember that for 2025.
Speaking of politicians and their memes, whether you love the guy or hate the guy or feel indifferent, nobody has embraced their own meme identity more than Vance. Like the way he pushes the fat Vance with the with the mutton chops. I've
That's the
seen so
Cabbage
many.
Patch Vance, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
really has capitalized on it and seems to want, he owns it. I got to give him credit for that.
And then, of course, you can't, we can't think of 2025 without inevitably seared into our eyes the image of Nicki wet ass Christian Minaj. I mean, that's, how could we have gone 2025 without that? I mean, I'll always, nobody could forget that. That was just an amazing appearance. And in a related vein, I don't even know if you know who this is, but do you know who Timmy No Breaks is?
No.
Okay, well, Timmy No Breaks
is he a friend of Stevie No Drive or is...
No, I wish I knew him that well. No, Timmy No Breaks is this guy. He made an appearance on the Kill Tony show and basically kind of emerged as, I think he's going to be one of the future comedy stars of probably like a Shane Gillis, Tim Dillon, that level of stardom. Obviously, he hasn't hit it yet because, he's basically he's just kind of been on the Kill Tony thing a bunch of times, which, I mean, he's only been on like 3 or 4 times, but every time he's been on has been like the reels, like that's the highlight of the show, of the season, of the year, pretty much. But yeah, Timmy No Breaks is... he burst onto the scene in 2025. Just make note, Timmy No Breaks, 2025. That's when he came into it. And then of course, speaking of which, the ESPYs with Shane Gillis. That was this year. That'll always go down that'll go down in history. I don't think they'll be inviting him back to do. Do you think they will? Wouldn't that be great if they had him back again? But they won't do that.
I mean, people liked it. Why not?
That's true. True. People did like it. I mean, as self-deprecating as that would make them seem, but I don't know, man. I think the powers that be, they're like, yeah, I don't know. That was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite things about the old original Dave Letterman show in late night when he was on NBC is he was just constantly rip on the network. It was just an ongoing thing.
True. He still does, actually. He still hates him. All right, and so then I came up with three names that all seem to have made a big deal this year. MTG, Thomas Massey, and Ro Khanna. And actually, you could even put in, what's her name, Gnome in there, because they were the ones that basically got the Epstein files released. So that happened this year. Any comments on that?
No. What was the third name you listed?
Ro Khanna, rather. He's a Democrat. He and Thomas Massey are the ones that co-sponsored the bill that basically made it a law that they have to release the files, which they're not following. They're actually that's probably
as much of those that were redacted. I'm sure you've seen how much of the redacted stuff has actually been unredacted by just people on the internet that figured out ways of, the technology they used to redact it was so primitive that they just copy pasted it, put it into a Microsoft Reader or whatever it is, and so far more information came to light than they wanted to release.
Yeah, not only that, apparently there's a shit ton of stuff that hasn't been released that was supposed to be, and that's, I think they're trying to impeach, or what's the word? They're trying to get rid of Pam Bondi over it. Is it impeach her? No, they're indicting her for like withholding or something like that. So that's why she's another reason why she may be on the way out. But yeah, those three people apparently had a pretty, and obviously Marjorie Taylor Greene quit in 2025. That's, just up and said, screw it, I'm done, I quit. That's pretty unprecedented, or at least lately.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Mic
sure
drop, walk out.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time you remember anybody doing that? I'm sure it's happened, but I can't remember when it is. And then I've got Diddy, which, he's already kind of mentioned, and he had a rough year. still in jail for what? I have no idea. I still don't know what they've actually really convicted him of, other than doing exactly what I figured they were doing in a freak off. I mean, that's
all of the consensual, all that stuff I figured was, there's no crime. The only thing I thought he may have been guilty of, and maybe I guess he wasn't, or they didn't try, was blackmail or filming people without their knowledge.
yeah, but I didn't really see any proof of that.
Yeah, so maybe,
I don't know.
I don't know. Didn't do it, or maybe they all knew they were being filmed.
I don't know. I mean, I would assume. I mean, there's whatever. Anyway, so you got Diddy. Okay, then of course, you can't think 2025 without thinking Tyler Robinson. And I can't remember his boyfriend's name now. Do you remember his name?
Me neither. No, I can't think of it. I knew it at one point.
Yeah, so did I. It's been scrubbed from my memory somehow, but who's clearly probably the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, if either one of those guys had anything to do with it. But anyway, those guys definitely 2025, that was their year. Doge had an up and down the year this year.
Yeah, a very bright and brief burning star.
Right. Came and went with no time, and of course everybody's now saying that Doge was just all about stealing your data. Which to me, I'm like, yeah, who cares? You can have my data. I don't have any data. You can have all my non-data. All right. Anyway, so the other thing, this one's kind of a rough call, but I kind of wrote down the real estate market, because it's pretty clear that it's over for the bubble part anyway. It's not going up anymore. It's definitely where the way I like to categorize this is we're like at the tip of the roller coaster, just tick 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 tick. You know what I mean? Right before we go, and it's already starting to come down. I mean, but at the same time, there's still people just asking ridiculous prices for homes. It's just like, you're never going to get that. Those days are over. You're not going to get that much money for that place. But anyway, so that's 2025 for sure. The year the bubble peaked. Also, the Palisades, all the places that burn up in California, that was this year.
That was a brutal start to the year.
Right. Palisades, and where else? It was the Pacific Highway, and and that's actually I've had that right under real estate, obviously for the obvious reasons. That definitely changed the face of at least California real estate, at least in that area for sure. And from what I hear, there's nothing being rebuilt there. There's lots of people buying up the land, but nobody's building anything. So
yeah, who's covered a tremendous amount of that is Adam Carolla. I've watched a lot of videos of him.
That's where I've gotten all of my information from about that. Absolutely, yep. And supposedly it's being bought up by Chinese people buying it or something. I don't know.
Foreign nationals, a lot of Chinese. Yeah.
What do they want to do with it though? I don't know. Think they're going to open Chinese restaurants or something, and eventually we have the Chinese buffet right on the ocean. I don't know. Maybe they're just Chinese oligarchs just wait until they can build their mega mansions there. Who knows?
Just a place to park their money, get it out of China.
True. That's a good point. But at the same time, I mean, they're paying pretty top dollar for that land. But I mean, I guess eventually, no matter what they pay, it's eventually going to get back to that. So it is a pretty good investment, no matter what you pay, I imagine. If you can afford it, good for you. And it's funny, at the very next line is the bottom of the page, which I purposely wrote the last thing I want to talk about. So we got to skip that.
You know what I'm surprised you haven't covered yet, or at least somewhere in the first third of your lines of written material there,
right,
is the 904-549-9024.
That's right.
If anybody has any comments,
I forgot the sign. I forgot the sign
today so far. Yeah,
that's
that
true.
Would be the number to call.
That's true. Good point. Good call. Of course, and then there's 2025 will forever be known as the year of Ozempic. Definitely, and in related, right underneath that is South Park, because South Park was pretty much done till this year, right?
They came back swinging hard this year for sure.
But they
In
were
fact, it's funny. When you earlier listed those 4 names and I asked you who the third person was, the only reason I knew as much as I did is the other 3 were all in South Park this year, so they really have hit some high notes.
But I mean, they came back this year, didn't they? Weren't they retired? They were done, weren't they?
No, they weren't done, but I think they were on a hiatus or something.
Well,
I mean, they had never announced that the show was over.
Yeah, but they gave him a lot of money to come back from a hiatus. Is the point? They paid him a shit ton of money to come back for the season,
and
didn't they?
I'm still not entirely convinced that their whole plan is just to literally get themselves canceled so they don't have to do it anymore. That way, they never have to actually say we quit. Like, no, we were forced
That is
to
a
quit.
genius. Yeah, that's a genius plan. We'll just keep being more and more offensive until they make us stop. That's brilliant.
Because they really, I mean, I've been watching the show for years, and this year was unequaled in how far they actually went especially with the Trump thing.
This is true. Now that you mention it, I haven't even seen them all, but I know some of the stuff they did, and that absolutely rings true. You can't. I don't remember anybody else.
I mean,
making
even
fun of the president's penis.
The episode that featured Kristi Noem was so ruthless and heartless. I think she probably shot 40 dogs at least in it. Just end credit scenes, her wandering into a pet shop, and just the window flashing over and over again. And yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, they had a banner year for sure. 2025, the year of South Park. All right, so
I was thinking back over go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm running out of stuff.
So
go
I was
ahead.
thinking over 2025, and I got to say, I think one of the best things for me in 2025 is our show.
Yeah.
Our show started January 28th of 2025 with the Flyers.
I thought we didn't start till March. We started in January?
No, January 28th. January 28th. I was looking over the files earlier today.
I think you're right.
Along with that, I'm also, I guess, and it's almost going to turn into a Thanksgiving episode, but I'd like to reach out and thank Joe Beard of the Flyers for providing us with an excellent little intro and outro song. Quite fond of it.
And Scott.
Got out of a sticky situation. Yep. Next, Scott Allen for not 1, but 2 very cool logos. I actually like the first one too. We still got a couple of shirts with those on them. We'll be getting some new ones, some merch for 2026.
Very soon. And and he's actually also working on a best of episode for us.
Right. I really like my mic. I think it really improved the sound quality of my Zoom calls.
It does.
And with the upcoming edition of new laptops, I think the video quality will improve as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll probably get you a camera too.
A little more. Oh, that'd be cool. The ability to do a little bit more with the show, technologically wise.
Absolutely.
As far as New Year's resolution, I will state boldly right now that for one of my resolutions will be to never book the small studio next door again and just bypass that whole issue whatsoever. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
The bunker. You hate the bunker.
I do hate the bunker. Yeah, I much prefer that one.
Yeah, I don't care. So anyway,
personal things that I found in 2025 that I actually really enjoyed. So I don't think I've even talked to you about this, but my niece, Brookie, has a very weird sense of humor, kind of like my own, and I really appreciate it. She turned me on to this thing called Marcus the Worm. Now, I can't even, it's such bizarre, abstract comedy. What it is like a VR chat room where people are talking to each other and they have their avatars. This creature that calls himself Marcus the Worm, it's just the words, the dialogue that comes out of his mouth. He always interacts with a guy named Robert. It's fucking hilarious. Do yourself a favor, any of our viewers, you yourself, and people in this, the guy producing today. Yeah, check out Marcus the Worm. It's pretty fucking funny. In fact, she even got me a little Marcus the Worm keychain, which now he like dangles from the visor in my car.
I think
nobody knows who it is.
I think I've seen a picture of what you're talking about. And everybody is like standing around in like a virtual room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen a picture of what you're talking about. I've never heard any of the interaction or anything. I've never seen the funny part, but Interesting.
It's not for everybody. I'll say
Marcus
that.
the Worm.
Marcus the Worm. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, next on my list for 2025 was tariffs. This has been the year of the tariff battle, war, taco, whatever you want to call it. What was that? What was that acronym for? Till Trump always caves in the end, or something. What was that? What did taco stand for? Trump always chickens out. That's what it was. Trump always chickens out. Yeah. So with all the trade wars and the tariff wars and which, we covered that last episode, how I feel about the tariffs. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Now I want chicken tacos, but go ahead.
Chicken tacos. That's the 2025. MAGA in general, 2025 was kind of a rough year for MAGA. Seems to have completely split into two in complete disarray. There seems to have split into MAGA versus MEGA, which, we've discussed that ad nauseum many times on the show about the Israel First crowd. It's funny you mentioned the show, because down here I have podcasting, not just our show, but in general. I mean, I don't know if this has been the year per se, but it's definitely been one of the banner years of, I don't know how many people are still watching legacy media, I would venture to say the numbers for podcasting are probably through the roof this year. Would you guys?
Yeah. I saw
you guys would know, right?
About
people,
this.
Yeah, our producer's nodding. Yep.
I saw some statistics about this, and much like the failure rate of restaurants and stuff like that, most people do not keep at it. Most people do not plug away, and most of them have less than 10 episodes. And I'm proud to say, I believe we have over maybe 60, close to 60.
Yeah. Well, here's the difference between us and them. I think they're trying to make money.
Fair enough.
Yeah. If we were trying to make money, we would have gave up long ago. I think that's the whole secret, not only to our success and our longevity, but the fact that we can say whatever we want because we don't have any sponsors. We don't have anybody we have to answer to, other than right. YouTube or, other than those people throwing us off their platforms.
YouTube and, law in general,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd like to answer to Seven Brew. I've begged them. I've mentioned them enough times.
Well, here's the thing. Even if we were to get a sponsor, we can't really get too much. This last year is the only reason we've done it this whole year without. It's kind of my fault a little bit for screwing up, and we're not really a corporation until tomorrow. So actually, tomorrow is when I actually need to start wasting money on this. And unfortunately, this year is just wasted money, but it wasn't that much, so big deal. But podcasting in general, man, I think that 2025 may have been the linchpin year where people are like, yeah, we're pretty much done with TV, and it's about podcasting now. On a similar, well, no, that's not really. This isn't really similar, but I should have put this one up by MAGA, but. I think the uniparty in general has become a thing this year. The uniparty has become, I think, for most people, I think the uniparty has become apparent and unsustainable. I think a lot of people have finally figured it out that, look, it doesn't matter which side you vote for, you always get John McCain. Anything to add there?
No, other than the age-old analogy of, watching a puppet show and the two puppets is just with the left hand and the right hand, which.
And it's funny, the next couple of ones that I have written down are all basically the same thing, which is the deep state, same thing. Everybody sees now that there's clearly a deep state. War in general, 2025 has been a big year for war. We had a 12-day war. We're now at war in Nigeria, Venezuela, Ukraine, kind of at war in Gaza. We had a 12-day war with Iran. 2025, it's going to be tough to beat that one for just the sheer amount of wars.
Right. How many wars are we going to have to fight in next year to, honor our 250th anniversary?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
you're
there
right.
should be all kinds of events and pageantry and parades and displays of power and who knows what else.
Yeah, good point. I didn't even think about that. That's funny they aren't alluding to that yet. I'm surprised we haven't heard any rah rah, sis boom
I am
baba.
too.
Yeah, that's interesting. That would be suspiciously absent. Anyway,
I mean, 4th of July, the next 4th of July should be a big one.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I don't know if you noticed, but are you seeing where like possibly there are people like warning that there could be some kind of terrorist event on New Year's Eve, and it's like, well, duh. I've been thinking of that since
Yeah.
9/11. Well, hello. What do you anyway. Yeah, so I got Epstein. Wait, do I have Epstein again? We already talked
You
about
haven't brought
Epstein.
him up yet.
Yeah, but he wasn't really. I mean, he wasn't. Nothing really happened to him this year, other than him just being brought up,
Right.
incessantly, ad nauseum. But yeah,
I
other
wonder
than
what
that,
he's been. I wonder what he himself has been doing all year.
yeah, that's a good question. I'll tell you the truth. I'm worried about Charlie
If he
Kirk.
has any New Year's resolutions?
Right, right. I swear, I'm thinking the same thing about Charlie Kirk lately. It's like, look, I wouldn't be, nowadays I wouldn't be too shocked to find out they're all both chilling at the same island in the Caribbean somewhere. Probably, about 3 islands over from his old island or something like that. All right, and I guess this is the second to last name on my 2025 list of great year and also going to be a bad year, Barry Weiss. She got paid, at least.
Yes, she did. She did get paid.
But apparently she's not having a good time over there at CBS. They don't, apparently they're about to fire her. I guess over some 60 Minutes thing. Do you know what that's about? Like
No.
they edited the shit out of some 60 Minutes? Or no, I know what it was. Oh, yeah, now I remember. 60 Minutes did a story. And it was, I forget what the story was exactly about, but it was not complimentary to Israel. So she axed it. And that's why what was the story about? I forget now. I want to say it was something maybe about the aid they were trying to get in or something like that. But she axed the story and they were like, hey, we kind of really wanted to run that story. So she's having problems. And
Yeah, I can see how that might be a mild conflict of interest for her.
yeah, right. You think? And last, how long have we been doing this? You didn't start the timer. 42 minutes. That's not bad. Well, I'm on to the last name on the list for 2025. Any guesses?
I mean,
I mean,
No.
we've kind of mentioned him so far, but you got to give the man of the year, 2025, Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, you got to give it to him one way or the other. He's the man of the year. I mean, not that, as long as his name is in the conversation, he's got to be the man of the year. That's basically his MO. That's the only way he can. And this is so odd. Just yesterday, our friend Mike, that the 2-time no-show.
Oh, at least 2 times.
Yeah, he started watching that Ian Carroll video that we had talked about, and he says, "Oh, I know to dismiss this because of something, whatever, yada yada yada." And I was like, "Why would you want to dismiss it?" I mean, I thought he was a Trump fan. I mean, if this is true, Trump gets his, he gets it on Mount Rushmore. How would he not? I didn't understand. I was trying to discuss it with him. And then eventually he even came around and said, hey, as long as Trump keeps sticking it to Netanyahu, I'll be happy. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what Ian's saying he's doing. Why would you dismiss this I don't know. It didn't make much sense. But yeah, but you love him or hate him, you got to give 2025 to Trump. I mean, the biggest political comeback in obviously the history of the world that I can think of. Not to mention,
certainly of this country.
Yeah, completely. Truthfully, of the whole world, what can you think of anybody that's made a bigger political comeback that got thrown out of, basically voted out of office. They tried to throw him in jail for years. They tried to kill him, and then he gets reelected. That's pretty.
Didn't Napoleon get exiled and then come back and then
you could
conquer again for a while and then get exiled?
I think you're right. I don't know if he was elected though, but you're right though. He did lose power and then come back. But I don't believe he was elected. But I don't know. I don't know that much about Napoleon. But yeah, I mean, Trump had a hell of a year. I mean, they tried to kill him at least twice that we know of.
Right. First attempt
was last year.
Though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Both of those did happen last year. But yeah. So I don't know. Anything else you can think good or bad about 2025 that we haven't talked about? Other than 904-549-9024. Other than that.
No, I mean, we've kept pretty current on everything. I refer back to I think we've done 60 episodes this year.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny.
Is more than once a week.
Right. Well, it's funny. I was just going to say, because this probably won't come out till maybe not even February unless we start putting out more episodes in a week or something. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how how some of these last episodes age after, sitting in the can for about a month and see what happens. I know I watched the last episode and it's something we had talked about a couple of weeks ago. It was like, oh yeah, that aged well or something. I can't remember what it was, but
you see the slow growth of the winter beard.
Yeah. And you've been trimming it though, right? Because it doesn't look as unkempt as it did before.
No, I've been like oiling it and brushing it, and I did get it trimmed once, so had it lined up. Yeah, otherwise it turns into like Brillo. Yeah, I got this beard oil. Pretty cool.
Like WD-30, WD-40.
Yeah, no, it smells like vanilla. It's like pretty nice actually.
Interesting. All right. Well, I don't know. I think that could be it for 2025.
Yeah.
Well, let's
shout out to all of our 60 subscribers.
Absolutely.
You guys,
absolutely.
Those of you that keep your accounts private, because I can't see who it is, but
right. All of our guests. Big shout out and thanks to all of our guests, and
we've had some really good ones. We've had a lot of episodes with just us, but we have had some good guests.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any bad guests. I mean, had some that were weren't as funny as I thought they would be.
Yeah, no, we've never had any confrontational, blow up, arguments or anything like that. Even though we've
to our detriment,
we've thought that out. Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Probably
anybody wants to
use one of those just to get us
right. They don't even have to do it in person. They could do it on a Zoom, or they could just simply do it by calling 904-549-9024, or they could leave in the comments when they also subscribe.
That reminds me,
friends.
Do you check the comments before every episode? Are you looking at? Because I know, what if somebody's making a comment on episode 2? I'm never going to see that. I'm not looking that back forward.
Anytime somebody makes a comment, I get a notification.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. That's cool.
Because I log into YouTube.
Yeah, I can't log in. I can't. It won't let me. I've tried. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next year.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff, and on to 2026.
All right. Thanks again.
Later.